One way or another, this is the last video on the XP-DI, the Seadoo with literally the worst engine ever put into a personal watercraft. I'm glad I paused there to think about what I'm going to say next. Oh yeah, let me think for a minute. Oh, this is great. But anyway, like I'm trying to say, this is the last video. I am so done with this ski. Win, lose, or fail, will it get the sledgehammer, or will I actually get it to run correctly? You're just gonna have to watch the video and find out. Got the XP-DI in the garage, doing some more work on it. Obviously, it doesn't run right. So the next thing is to go after that air compressor, which feeds the air into the fuel rail here. And on the air compressor side, we keep getting this milky buildup. So we're thinking that it's something wrong with the air compressor on this. And it sounds stupid to say because no other skis out there, only the DIs have this air compressor thing. So if it seems like a stupid weird term to use for a personal watercraft, it is. No other ones use this. Nothing else has a fuel rail that gets fed fuel and compressed air. I'm getting down into it here, trying to decide if I need to pull the engine to get to the air compressor. I know it's just down in that area. So I got an insane find here. I was just moving some fuel lines out of the way, so I was pulling them back through this hole, and I was like, oh, I left my socket in here. But this is a DeWalt socket, and none of us have any DeWalt socket sets. So somehow this socket has been sitting in there without flying through to the back. That's pretty crazy that it didn't fly into the back. So cool, awesome find. You can always need more spark plug sockets because I always seem to lose them. Like whoever was changing spark plugs on this before. There it is, the air compressor unit. That should not, a part that should never have ever been on any jet ski and has no place in any jet ski motor ever. And is the only setup to ever use this, the DI. A real insert swear word to get this removed from the ski. I had to remove that piece of the exhaust sitting here, which could not be removed without removing this front E-box. So real pain to get that, real pain to get that, which means it was an extra big pain to get this guy, which you can see has some moisture inside of it. So certainly that's probably what our issue is. This is a water-cooled thing. I believe it's like water jacketed here. Here, let's break it apart. Yep. But there we go. It's going to be this seal was leaking water into the compressor chamber, which normally pushes the air up into the fuel rail. And it's getting a bit of moisture in there, and obviously that's going to cause a bit of a misfire. So this is kind of like the head, or almost like a cylinder head for the air compressor. And checked it with a straight edge, it was not flat. So I am resurfacing it, sort of, if you will, flattening it out. And using like a knife sharpening stone. I saw this on Joel Arsenault video. And I don't know if this is necessarily what he was doing, but I kind of liked it, so I decided to try it for myself. And Joel, you can tell me if what I'm doing makes sense. The really dark areas are the areas that the stone hasn't actually touched yet. So I gotta kind of keep going till it all turns to this silver. And it's probably gonna take me like 20 minutes or so. Alright, that's looking pretty dang good. Look at that. All silver all the way around. I can check that with my straight edge now. Just using this very thick feeler gauge. You guys can't see this, but I can. Okay, Now I'm ready to install this into the ski. There, got it installed. Now I gotta button the rest of this up, meaning, you know, put everything back together that I've taken apart, get all the lines hooked up, and we'll be ready for some more testing. I say that weird because there's been a lot of times where we've been ready for more testing. I gotta figure something else out. It is shooting water into my garage, so let me figure something out. Good, seems strong. I don't think I'll know until I get it out on the water, because it always runs like this on the hose. It runs fine. I'm about to pick this Seadoo up and put it on the trailer, but it's perfect opportunity to get a real world weight on this thing. And let's weigh this thing. Okay, yeah. All right, that's fully off. 653 pound. That's a real world weight. And yes, it's fully off the ground. All right, we're out here just about to test XP-DI, testing the air compressor head resurfacement to see if that makes it run properly. And I was going to run it that night, but it ended up just pouring down rain, so this is a couple days later. Also, I have Jacob out here on the Kawasaki X2. It has finally hit the water, so we might do a video on that as well. Really want to get this monkey off my back. I mean, this thing's been driving me nuts, just all the stuff I've done with it. But this is kind of the last thing, and if this doesn't take care of it, I'm really going to be scratching my head. At least it starts right up now. It's like reliable. I shouldn't say that, like knock on wood, like, or plastic. But it always starts up now. I've got the steering kind of just rigged together. I think if this works, I'm either gonna sell this or I'm gonna buy a new steering cable. And if I do sell it, I am gonna show and tell the person about the steering cable. Oh man, I got splashed. off the bottom. Whereas you would punch it before and it was just kind of like bleh. Maybe this is it. Maybe this is correct for this. And maybe I got it. I'm not 100% sold, to be honest, that it's working properly. Maybe. I have no idea what this is supposed to feel like. Oh man, but I do know the steering cable is all screwy. But let's I'll take a look at our top speed and that'll kind of give us a idea. It's wavy out there, ran it at 48, so that's gonna come in probably around 51 on a smooth day, which is exactly where it was at before. Seems to be doing the exact same thing. So I'm gonna have to go ahead and pull the airline off and see if there's still moisture in there. XP-DI working on this thing some more, and I don't really know what to say about it, but I'm taking a lot of it apart because I want to get the front stator cover off, which is this right here. It also doubles as a motor mount for this engine, so I have to be able to support the front of the motor to get it off. But I've heard it said to fix one of these DIs you need an exorcist, which kind of leads into the whole demon possessedness and evil nature of this particular engine. Now, the engineers who designed this truly believed in pure evil. It's one of those things, why do I have like all this crap taken apart? Well, it's because I want to take this front cover off. And it's one of those, I gotta take everything out to get one stupid little thing off. And stuff that's engineered that way, it's just not right. It shouldn't be that way. But I'm gonna use this piece of wood. I'm gonna put a little strap on this and kind of lift up the front of the motor so I can pull that stator cover off. Here is inside the front cover, and as you can see, it is perfectly clean, perfectly dry in there. So I don't see anything particularly wrong with the inside of that. So gotta see if I can figure, well, now I gotta put it all back together, and then I gotta try to figure something else out. Only thing I'm finding on this is that this reed valve on the back was very oily. There was oil in the boot and oil on the sensor in there, and I'm thinking that's probably an air temp sensor. I don't know that the oil coating would really keep it from working correctly, but I don't think it should be all oily in there. So I'm going to clean these up, put them back in. I'm going to set up that vent line. It's a vent line that comes from the oil tank. I'm going to just set that up totally differently. There it is. I got it all put back together. I actually took it out on the water for a test today and ran fairly well, 55 on the GPS.
60 on the Dreamo-meter. So fairly happy with that. The steering cable still needs to be replaced, but honestly guys, I'm done with this thing. I'm moving on. I need to move on to different things. If this didn't have what most consider to be the worst engine ever put into a PWC, then I'd consider messing with it more. But I'm totally burned out on this thing. I'm done. If it was a carved version, I would definitely hang on to it for a bit and do some more stuff with it. But this one, the saga ends. I'm done with this thing. I'm sending it down the road. Well, kind of a disappointing finish, really, if you ask me, on that XP-DI. Ran out at about 55 miles per hour, which is okay. I mean, possibly it was sort of right. I mean, and we had like, you know, impeller or whatever, something holding it back. I don't know. It doesn't really matter to me anymore. I think it should have been better, but it wasn't. I sold that ski and it is literally gone, so you will never, ever see it on this YouTube channel again, except for you might see it in the background of a few videos that have some older clips in them. Just because of the way we make our videos, sometimes like a project will span several different days, so that XP-DI might be in the background of, you know, one of the other clips or something. But it is physically gone, and we're not going to do any more videos on it because I hate that thing, and it sucked. But I traded it for a stack of cash, so I'm pretty happy about that. And that's what's got me in this sort of buying mood. So you guys know that I got the Wave Blaster 1 over there. I have a purchase agreement on this. Just kind of waiting for like the ink to dry, if you will. So just waiting on a little bit of kind of a weird purchase agreement we have on this, but it's not a big deal. It's going to happen for sure. So got that. I actually have a motor for that now, but we'll get into that on a different video when it's actually about the Wave Blaster 1. Some of you guys seem to care about the stand-up, so I think Jacob is going to try to make some more stand-up videos for you guys, but you're going to want to make sure to support those videos, or he's not going to get very motivated to do anything with those. But this is just a random guess, and I'm pretty sure that the next video is the Kawasaki X2, and going along with what I just said, definitely going to make sure to support that video, because it'll get, you know, us, me, Jacob, I mean, it's Jacob's build, so get Jacob pumped up and motivated to do more stuff with that. So that's going to be coming later on this week, maybe Thursday, or it might be Friday. I'm kind of playing around with switching the Friday videos to Thursday instead. So you'll just have to turn on your notifications so that you can make sure to see that when it comes out.